What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. OG here, and we're back for more of your top starter squad players. We are all the way up to right wingers. We have gone through every position. Only thing left after this, striker. So if you haven't seen all of the top starter squad players for every other position, make sure you go back and watch those videos, because it is extremely important that starting day one of the next iteration of EAFC, you know what starter squad players you want to aim for to get into your squad, which ones could potentially earn you some coins if you're able to get them early enough. And if you're smart from the start about how you build your starter squad, you'll have a good foundation of coins to then have a future squad that is even better. A lot of players from day one, and we talked about this, but it's important, so we'll reiterate it. A lot of players don't know the general rules of building a starter squad, and right off the bat, they go out, they work hard, they earn coins, and burn them all to the ground. And next thing you know, they're wondering why all these other players have way better teams, why they're struggling to get any type of momentum going with creating a good team. And one of the biggest reasons, they sink their coins into players for their starter squad that they simply shouldn't have, that were just 100% always going to crash very quickly. They never had a preparation, a plan, if you will, to build the team in any type of way. And there's a lot of good players out there that are also affordable. Then there are some that are on the cusp. Maybe they're affordable, maybe they're not. And then there's some that you just want to stay away from, period, because you know, based on their league, nationality, popularity of their name, stuff like that, no matter how low rated they are, they're just going to be way overpriced. So we've gone through that every other position, and we're going to do the same with right wings. As always, shout out to Radar FC. For earlier videos, we actually used FootMind, so shout out to FootMind as well. Two great sites with databases way before EA Sports dropped theirs, which allowed us to get ahead of the game even more with our preparation for FC26. So, putting that behind us, starting with Becho, 79 rated, France International, Ligue 1, Lyonnais, right? For one, if there's any Lyon players on the men's side, and then for two, there's plenty of French international players. It is without a doubt the decade of France, if you will. For years, France has been dominating with the top players up and down the rankings, and because of that, and the fact that there's a men's team that could give Becho connection, chemistry-wise, she could very well be a little overpriced. What I'm calling, though, at 79 rated, and she's not just a player with any blistering speed or crazy high ratings, right? Sometimes that catches people's eyes, and these starter players can be overpriced simply because of one stat, particularly speed. But because she doesn't have any of that like crazy, Becho very well could be affordable. If at the very least she's worth noting down to potentially join your starter squad. 85 pace, 76 shooting, 69 passing, 85 dribbling, defense, and physical both low. Simply put, she is going to be a player that you want to cut inside and score goals. Unfortunately, which this is no fault of Radar, right? Beggars can't be choosers. When there's high traffic, you can't get in. So unlike with the left wingers, we're not going to be able to see exactly what player roles or player role pluses she has or any detailed information. But that's okay. You want to note down Becho either way as a potential starter squad player, and just note that you'll have to see what player role she has, what play style she has, her height, so you know her general build, stuff like that. Takes 2 seconds, but having her on the list, that's the most important part. Next up, we have Gesend, the Ivory Coast international from Ligue 1 Nice player. 83 pace, 76 shooting, 73 passing, only 79 dribbling, and 77 physical. He can also play striker and right mid. Yes, he's only a 3-3, whereas Becho, 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot, right? Which is another reason why, they could very well be affordable, which is what you want, right? Some of these defects of these players won't hurt them that bad, but they could be very well what's making these players affordable. That's the name of the game, right? it's way better to get affordable players that still are going to be solid for you on the pitch, as opposed to paying tons and tons of coins for a name or a country, or one extra star on a weak foot. When starter squad players, you can handle 3-star weak foot for just your starter squad team that's going to barely last, and that you're going to easily be able to upgrade pretty quickly as you save coins, right? So guessing, another one you definitely want on the list. Fowler, striker, left wing, right mid. She's kind of 50-50, right? You put a hunter on her, she goes around 88 pace, 85-ish shooting. She has 81 dribbling, 73 passing, low defense and physical. Australian international, Man City, obviously on the women's side. I wouldn't put her on there, but just in case, she's a little too slow for my liking for a winger. However, for some people, she might just fit, right? Again, you note her down, you take a look at her on game release, and it takes you a couple minutes, and that way you make sure you have a full list that can definitely match, where you're going with your build, because that's the other thing. This is a general list of players that you then piece together, chemistry-wise, to create the best squad possible. That's the most affordable, which is really the number one key. And next up, we have Feller. I know you guys are probably looking at that Johnson card there. I think just because of that 86 pace alone, even with the Wales and then the lower stats everywhere else, for one, there's other way better options. For two, I think the Premier League, Tottenham, and then just that pace for a winger, 79 rated Johnson will be overpriced. So I'm going straight to Feller. Real Madrid, France international, but she's on the women's side. Because of the league and nation and speed, she's likely to be overpriced too, but just in case, a lot of the times the women don't get, their fair dues, which is good for us. The players that ignore that and would gladly take Feller on their starter team. So she's worth noting just literally because she's on the women's side. A men's side player with those stats, France, Real Madrid, yeah. You wouldn't even bother looking because they're going to be way overpriced. But women's side, worth noting and looking at. Now, a player you do want to add to the list, Chukwueze, can play right wing and right mid. 4-star skills, only 2-star weak foot. 88 pace, 74 shooting, 74 passing, 83 dribbling. Low defense at 36, physical 57. The Nigerian international, AC Milan player, always a big name for the affordable starter squads. You see him year after year, mainly because pace really does help out. It's the one stat that players at these lower ranks will have that's elite, truly elite. That they'll all, that a lot of them can have across the board, right? You're going to get your elite dribblers sometimes, depending on the position, elite shooters, even elite defense. Like one stat in there outside of pace, but pace is that one that even with the lower stats across the board, they can have top pace. When you add in elite pace with another, very good up to elite level type of starter squad stat, that's when we're talking, right? So Enderman isn't one of those players. She only has not even elite, but very good speed that can go up to like a 93 for a winger. For starter squad, that's just fine. 75 shooting, 74 passing, 79 dribbling, right? German international, women's Bundesliga, worth looking at. She's definitely going to be affordable, right? And maybe that's what it comes down to for you. Marco Asensio, way too slow. He can play cam. He has 81 passing, 82 dribbling, 78 shooting. If you want to note him down, but that's Spain plus PSG Liga 1. I would stay away from Marco Asensio. Kudus, same thing. Stay away from him. There's no way. He can play left wing, striker, right mid, obviously right wing. 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot, but being at Tottenham, right, he's got I believe that's Ghana nationality. 89 pace, 76 shooting, 72 passing, 86 dribbling. That elite dribbling too, yeah. Kudus will be overpriced, mark my words. Madueke will be overpriced. England, Arsenal will be overpriced for sure. Perisic, too slow. Can't play cam either. Some of these players you want to look. If they can play cam, they're worth at least looking at. Alanga, no way. He, for a long time, was a silver card, and there would be silver card cups. There's probably still going to be. And Alanga was the go-to guy for those silver cups. Now, though, Sweden International, Newcastle, 92 pace, 82 dribbling, even with the low shooting, pretty low passing, Low, 70 physical isn't bad. Low defense, which is fine. He's just going to be way overpriced, right? Alonga for sure. Murphy, same way. England International, Newcastle. Anthony definitely will be overpriced. Once like a potential top player, now just a top starter squad player, and then he disappears. But Cherky, very interesting here. If you look at Cherky for Cam, let's just see if maybe... Nope, unfortunately we can't get in there with Cherky to check the details. But note down Cherky for your starter squad, and in parentheses put Cam. Okay? The lefty, 5'5", 75 pace, 75 shooting, 80 passing, 88 dribbling. So almost 100% going to be overpriced. But just in case, there's that off chance that if people don't like that pace and look at him like a winger, like no way, and don't realize he can play Cam, which, believe it or not, there's a lot of players that just aren't prepared that will overlook that stuff. And if that's the case and you can get Cherky for any type of a decent price, he will be a ridiculous starter squad Cam, even with the Man City France connection. But that's typically, we're probably dreaming there, guys, honestly. Just like I'm skipping over Anthony and Murphy, stopping at Cherky, this is almost a waste of time, so I apologize. But, man, those stats look good, and initially when you see the 75 pace, that's a no. So, like Cherky, even with the other good stats, 75 pace as a winger, you would ignore him. But when you see that Cam in there, so that's what made me stop with him and not the others. Moving on to a Women's League, American Women's League, American International, Sanchez, right wing, right mid, as well as Cam, 3-star weak foot, but 4-star skills, 83 pace, 75 shooting, 81 passing, but 84 dribbling, and 70 physical. Put Sanchez on your radar. Could be a very solid right wing, or Cam. Berardi, I would put him on there. Sneaky good player. 4-star skills, 3-star weak foot, but 82 pace. Put a Hunter on it. 80 shooting, 79 passing, 84 dribbling, 68 physical. So not great, but not the worst either. Obviously, Savinho, you want to skip. Athenia is almost a guaranteed to skip because of the 4-5, so 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills. Because of Real Madrid, Spain, 86 pace, 78 shooting, 75 passing, 83 dribbling, 72 physical. So for a starter card, she's one of those small, somewhat, not all the way a physical player, but she's super tiny, super compact. A lot of us have used her before. Very good chance she's overpriced, but worth noting down. Again, as stupid as it is, just because she's on the women's side. And Iago Aspas, very interesting. We had this on the left wing side with a player or two as well. He's a bigger, more physical player, we know that. As a winger, no way. But since he can play striker, 4-star weak foot, despite the 77 pace, you put a Hunter on him. He has an 84 shooting. You could boost that way up. 80 passing, 84 dribbling. Only 62 physical, though. That's the crazy part, right? Because he is like a bigger, solid player. However, that's fine. Even just those long strides up top in that beastly shooting. Maybe a Kane-esque, even though Kane isn't really usable until he gets some special cards going. But, for starter cards, Iago Aspas, probably not. Not my type of striker, but if you want to note him down for that, maybe. Spain International, La Liga, if people just see right wing, 77, just like Cherky, they might pass him up. But it's different having a slower striker and a slower Cam. You can deal with a playmaker, which Cherky almost certainly has. Again, we can't check because of the traffic here on the site, which is fine. Just noting them down. So Iago Aspas, that's more a your call thing. If you like those stats enough outside of the pace, you think you could use them, especially knowing passing's way more important this year. It's not just going to be all about pace, all about spamming through balls. Maybe Iago's your guy. But even if it's not all about pace and all about spamming through balls, you like having speed in certain positions, and striker's one of them. Last but not least, the man on the thumbnail. Almost certainly going to be overpriced, right? But we can dare to dream because of this right here. Good old America. Not known to be a footballing country. You got Serie A and AC Milan. So that ain't going to help our cause. 88 pace, 82 shooting, 80 passing, and 86 dribbling. 48 defense, 46, sorry, 65 physical. Either way, low and lower. Really not low and lower, but you get what I'm saying. Not the most physical player, insane dribble or great pace, and then solid shooting and passing for a starter squad player. Not to mention he can play on the right and he can play cam. It's a shame, an absolute shame. He can't play on the left, but I guess in real life he never does, so they didn't add it. Although I wonder if all these other players definitely played on both sides. But either way, you wish he could because he has 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills. Again, it's a pipe dream that he is actually, at a value where you should and could look at him for a starter squad. But because of the old America tag, just maybe. Now, there are a ton of good women out there that could, American could connect with Pulisic on a little Serie A, American Women's League, or there's American women playing all over the world. It's polar opposite of men's, right? United States is the best country when it comes to football for women, just not for men. So now that there's some sick women out there, it actually raises Pulisic's stock. So I probably just got your hopes up. Not telling you just to ignore Pulisic, putting him on the thumbnail. It wasn't planned. A lot of this I'm just slowly but surely coming to terms with right now. The best player in the United States probably isn't going to be in my starter squad. Shame on that. But that's okay, though, because there's plenty of good, cheap, beast, smart choice right wingers for your starter squad. So, if this video was helpful, if you enjoyed it, please smash that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It means a lot. I know how easy it is to forget. Go ahead and do it right now while I'm finishing this little outro up. I really appreciate you, and make sure if you want to give back to the channel and get some ridiculously awesome perks, check out the YouTube memberships. Everything such as content you get early. All the other videos from all the positions, they're backdated about 3, 4, 5 days. You can get all of them right this second for just $2.99 a month. Then if you go to the YouTube bio, you can find my Discord link, or go into Discord, search OGamester and for $2.99 a month there, you have unprecedented help with everything you need, FC26. Maybe you just don't have the time to search what evolutions to do, what objectives, which players you need to sell before they crash, what the best tactics are. Just help with everything in the game, on and off the pitch, period. Again, link in the YouTube bio, or go into Discord and search OGamester. You are the best. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.